Chelsey Turpening Coxsey, founder of The Way of Genius. This is where it actually is going, the final part of a three-part series on chronic illness, autoimmune conditions, and the subconscious mind. Real client work, real science, held honestly the whole way through. If you're joining partway through, no problem. You can find the rest of the series right here on my YouTube channel. This work comes from years of my own research and client practice. The same method I teach in my books, coursework, and workbooks, and the platform I'm building, Edin and the Psyche Dojo. If any of this resonates, subscribing genuinely helps something real, making metacognition accessible to more people, not just the few who can already afford a coach. So let's get into it. We've covered the pattern, and we've covered the real, honest science underneath it. This last episode is about where I'm actually taking this next. So, from observation to real data. This pattern, real repeated, worth taking seriously, still needing more formal documentation, is exactly why what I'm building towards structured research cohorts through Edin, incorporating real biofeedback alongside this work, not replacing it. I want the next version of what I've described in this series to come with actual measured data behind it, not just my own careful observation, however consistent that observation has been. I've worked with a few clients now where a real health decline was on the table, and what came through in the work pointed towards something their own doctors hadn't yet connected. One of them was able to actually reverse that decline and start genuinely improving instead. I'm not claiming the subconscious work caused that outcome directly. What I am saying is that the information revealed through this process was real enough, specific enough, that it could be brought into real medical care and a real meaningfully different outcome followed. Here's the part I actually think matters most though. Their masculine side stepped forward and quite literally played doctor, organizing real biofeedback, holding steady presence through real trauma, nursing them through and before and after surgery in a way that felt to them generally supportive and real. In their own internal experience, the presence stayed with them the whole way through, including in whatever way their subconscious processed the time that they were under anesthesia. I want to be careful here because I'm describing their internal felt narrative, not making any claim about the actual conscious awareness during surgery itself. At the same time, a completely different archetype showed up, something that felt to them like a version of their own higher self. Not the same role as the masculine physician part, but an autonomous, wiser, and more knowing than they were themselves in that moment. An archetype, almost more than a part. And underneath both of them, something measurably real was also happening. Genuine neuroplasticity, real neural repair and rewiring running the whole time this internal support system was doing its work. If you've never actually sat down and met one of your archetypes running your own neural pathways like this on purpose, that's exactly the territory I walk through in my Master Perspective series. It's free right here on my YouTube channel, The Way of Genius. Why this matters beyond my own work. I think there's something bigger at stake here than just proving my own observations right. If Dreamwork and subconscious techniques genuinely do interact with chronic illness, the way I've watched them appear many times, that's real information the medical world doesn't currently have good tools to receive. Right now, it's like two departments in the same hospital that never actually talk to each other. The part of the medicine that treats the physical body and the part of you that's been trying to tell it something the whole time, in a language neither side has a translator for yet. Building the biofeedback research to actually measure that isn't just a validation for me. It's a real missing piece of how we understand chronic illness at all. So, closing the series. I've watched this pattern enough times now that I don't think it's a coincidence. I also don't think it's proven in a way a controlled study would be able to prove it yet. And I've tried to hold that distinction honestly through this entire series, the same way I hold everything else I teach. So, if you're living with something chronic that hasn't fully made sense yet, I'd encourage you to actually pay attention to what shows up in your own dreams around it, not as a replacement for your own medical care, but as one more real source of information your body may already be trying to give you. And if any part of this series actually resonates, if you're someone who might want to be part of real research ahead, through Edin, I'd love to hear from you. So thank you for being here for the whole series. And until next time.